So I'm going to attempt to convey meaning behind what I'm trying to express in a most conducively productive way to achieve the desired end result. I'm okay. So I have too much happening that is effectively not happening or happening in too many ways, of constructs of reality and causation to reality and effective results of things that cause other causations, and there's so many aspects to manipulate or happen naturally that conduct into multiple results sourced from multiple different sources of multiple different kinds of sources that lead to different kinds of constructs of reality, of multiple pathways of forks until they, there's, God, I'm not expressing. Okay, so the fact, there's always a fact. Facts are facts. Speculation is what you know at the time. God, I'm not doing. So I'm thinking, and apparently a lot, and I'm overdoing the process, and I'm not sure exactly what the meaning behind the process that is currently occurring, and that was the double use of the word in one sentence, which is not grammatically correct. And grammar, if you think about grammar, it's not about piousness or professionalism, it's about communication. And if you construe the concept of communication, it's about relaying what you're thinking or feeling or want to convey in a specific way. So every word has a specific meaning that conducts a certain element of different associations between words, or the way you say a certain word. Like, say there's past tense and present tense and future tense, and there's singular and there's plural, and there's so many nuances to one word, and the way that you use one word, or that it affects the words before it, or the structure of the sentence, because one word refers to which word, and which word does had refer to, and why is have passive? It's passive because it's not expressive, it's not precise, it's not conveying the process of what is. Do you have a car, or do you own a car? Because if you have a car, maybe you're renting it, maybe you stole it and you have it, it's not yours. Maybe you own it, you stole it, or you're renting it, and you don't have it unless you have it. But how do you have it? So I lost the beginning of the process of the video that I'm not conveying properly, because it had to have a beginning, a middle, and a conclusion, and that's structure. So the purpose, okay, so there's always a purpose, there's always a source, and the source of the sources. Things are overly complex in my head, my mind, specifically, because my head is not, it's physical, and the mind is a concept of something sourced from biological, biophysical, okay, so I'm getting lost again in terms of the tangents that have purpose. So this is, I'm not getting to the point. Maybe this is the point, and I missed the explanation of why the point was happening. Causation and effect, it's the efficiency. God help me. I don't know what's happening in terms of, like, I was so tired. I was physically, emotionally, mentally, every respect of tired. And I think there was a biological component to the way that I was thinking and feeling and expressing, because my mind slowed down a lot in terms of the way that I was capable of functioning and the level to which I was able to achieve at the time, based on whatever caused the incredible fatigue. So now I'm still kind of tired. I am maybe more like normal levels of normal people tired instead of Melissa type tired. I'm taking a lot of supplements to try to increase my energy and my physical energy and tolerance to um, standing for longer periods or sitting for longer periods has increased, and as well as the increase in physical energy that I'm experiencing, it opened a kind of a pathway to a higher ability to construct elements of conversation and reasons for causality in terms of grammar and all the punctuations that mean different things depending on where you put them, and then the thinking becomes so defined and so complex that there's no, like, you sleep because you have to regenerate so that you can endure the next day, or you gas your car so that it can actually continue functioning. So the simplicity of the construct of sleep is not simple. It's actually very complex because it has so many relations to causation and effect that it actually conducts. So you have sleep and it creates energy and endurance and being able to better do what you do in the time that you do it, in the time that you can do it, and it prolongs that time and it prolongs the efficiency and quality of it. So you take a break for 15 minutes from typing up your thesis because then you can better endure mentally the capacity of writing your thesis, and you can better not just endure longer writing your thesis. You can do it more precisely or properly, and you can do it in a better state of mental health. So if you're not thinking about nachos, and like normal people, they I mean, I think that, I like nachos, and where's the nachos, and why don't I think where's the nachos instead of thinking, do I have nachos? I'd love nachos. Are there some in the kitchen? So that's the normal thought process. So where am I going instead? I'm thinking, so if I want nachos, why do I want nachos? It's a biological component that actually caused me to think that I want nachos. If I'm hungry, I'll think I want nachos. And what caused the hunger? And because I didn't eat, maybe like in certain construct of whatever time period that I didn't eat. And you have to think, instead of thinking that you want nachos, you have to think about reasonings and the efficiency of the process to get the nachos, and what would happen if you took a different series or kind of like a different a pathway or mix of different ways to manipulate the way that you do it, which way is more efficient, and what would have happened if you had done it differently. There's so many sources to this is erratic. I'm recognizing maybe I think that it's fluent in logic, but maybe not in conveying the I'm overcharged and I'm emotionally, no, me I'm mentally, I'm not okay. So the purpose of the sleep thing was that I'm not taking a break to think about a more simple construct of thoughts, like I want nachos. So I don't necessarily think I want nachos. I overgo. And when people think I want nachos, they play video games and they just think about the video game that is completely inconsequential. But nothing's inconsequential. Everything has a consequence, regardless of whether it's positive or negative or whether it's desired. What I'm going off again. So doing things that aren't intensely structured or purposeful or thought out or complex is like recharging in order to do something more efficiently later. But if it's overly efficient and you're not sleeping because you have to like wash the kitchen floor, get stuff done, you have to make money, you're not sleeping and you're not doing what you have to do more effectively. Essentially what I'm trying to express is that I'm not taking, my thoughts aren't sleeping. I mean, when I sleep, I mean, the only time that anyone's thoughts sleep is when you're sleeping. You're always thinking something, but I'm not recharging or taking a break from more complex structure in the way that my the way that I build different sources of forks to everything. So I'm overcharged. I'm burning out, and I think that the fact that I'm not taking a break from thinking is causing a lot of well, honestly, distress. And I think that I'm wondering if it's OCD or if it's just what I mean. Is it OCD if it's like an over like desire to make everything consistent with the previous consistencies? Like if you have, like you spell your doctor's name wrong in your phone, so you have to fix everything else in the calendar so that it's spelled exactly the same way every single time. Because that's consistent, and that's OCD. So is the fact that I have to have incredibly perfect grammar even in my thinking in order to conductively or not conductively to effectively convey what I'm thinking, despite the fact that I know what I'm thinking. It has to be exact and precise in exactly the way it is supposed to be in so that it can be factual and exact. Or I don't think it's necessarily perfection. It's I mean, it kind of is in a way. I'm wondering if it's OCD because I'm over obsessing about things that maybe I shouldn't necessarily, because it's too much. It's more than I can handle, and currently I'm starting to a little bit deteriorate emotionally in terms of my endurance capacity for what is occurring. And I think that I'm starting to focus on like trying to simplify the moment or thoughts by self-harm. And I'm wondering if, I mean, there is no logic. There's self-harm is logical to a certain structure. So well, I'm thinking, I'm trying to be actively working on a solution, like talking about it, which clearly I'm doing a lot of that. Um, at least for this video, I'm God. I'm not exactly producing. I'm over efficient, and it's there's no break, and I need to recharge, and I'm not recharging, and I'm gonna stop now because I'm going on too many variables of variables that the variables consist of. So I have to stop, and I'm gonna move on to. I mean, I'm gonna make another video. I was gonna make a different one, but I think that this is more pertinent to the moment now, and possibly more of a relief to speak about what I'm actually experiencing now than what I was thinking of doing a few days ago. So great. I'm gonna make another video, and hopefully it's less efficient.